What's going on, everybody? Just give me one moment here. I like that. I quite like that. What the fuck? My apologies. How we doing, everybody? So, as the title suggests, yesterday I took 3 massive dumps before 11 a.m. and I had this crazy, incredible moment on the toilet where I was on my phone and I'd just been getting into stocks. Not really stocks, more so just investing in my retirement fund, which requires me to invest in like ETFs and shit like that. And I was doing all of it while I was taking a shit. And at the moment, it felt quite normal because I feel like in this day and age, it's pretty normal to just be on your phone and take care of business while you're doing your business. But upon further reflection, quickly realized that this is an entirely unique phenomenon that is only available to experience in this point in time. In 1980, you couldn't do that. Genghis Khan wasn't able to do that. I used to think it was Genghis Khan, but apparently it's Genghis. But yeah, I don't even know if Genghis Khan had toilet paper. I don't know if the pilgrims that came to America had toilet paper. You know, they would just take their shits. Imagine you're on the Mayflower and fucking itchy, bro. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, but imagine you're on the Mayflower, you take a shit, and then you just put your pants on. You don't even wipe your ass, bro. Think about that. They weren't even wiping their asses a few hundred years ago. I'm securing my future while I'm taking a shit. Technologically, we are leaps and bounds ahead of our predecessors, which is pretty incredible to think about. But then again, it is a gift to be able to be on the porcelain throne in silence. And during the day, I just like to shit in natural light. I don't like turning on the light because, first of all, you gotta save your money. But second of all, it's quite therapeutic. It's kind of like one of those sensory deprivation tanks where you just get to think and be by yourself and just think about the day, think about yesterday, last year, what the future might hold, all that good stuff. And so there's a reasonable argument for the idea that maybe doing my retirement stuff while I'm taking a shit probably isn't that good in terms of my mindfulness and just being there with myself and being in the moment while I shit out yesterday's sustenance, right? But here we are, doing my taxes, or not my taxes, my retirement. But anyways, the very interesting times we're in. I mean, I know we always say that, but the way I like to think of it is I have my pros and cons in regards to the society that we live in, of course. And I mean, I hope in the future, and obviously like in some parts of Asia, some parts of Europe, bidets are the norm. I think bidet is a French word, so I think shout out to France for that. But I don't know what the water usage is like for a bidet. Back at my parents' house, I got us bidets. This was probably like 5 years ago. And they're the ones where you can attach it to your current toilet. And the water was really cold. It wasn't, I mean, upon initial impact, when the water would shoot up, and just kind of just kiss the rim of your butthole. Upon impact, I mean, I just wasn't used to it. I wasn't used to liquids being shot up in there. And the water was cold, as I said. So, I mean, it was one of those things where it's like, ooh. And then the flow starts to come, and then you reach homeostasis, then you're like, you know what? I can handle this. Not only can I handle this, I kind of like it. And so, I experienced all of those emotions within like a 7-second window, which is pretty incredible because it happened so fast. And then I went over to just wipe my booty with the toilet paper, and lo and behold, I was just wiping the water off because the water it blew all the residual shit out of the way. I was impressed. And so, there's an argument that we can get a lot done while being on the toilet, whether it's investing, listening to a podcast. But what's all that worth if your butthole isn't clean, right? And in the current place where I'm staying, there's no bidet, but I do use wipes. And so my investing wasn't done in vain. You know, I still walked out of the bathroom with quite a clean butthole. But I do realize how much of a fucking privilege it is to have a clean butthole and to be able to fucking set my future self up. All within a 10-15 minute span. Anything longer than 15 minutes, I feel like my butthole just starts to get it starts to like pulsate a little bit because it gets so fucking like I think that's my body telling me, all right, bro, that's enough. Get the fuck off the toilet. And so I'm getting better at listening to my body. So naturally I get up and I just wash my hands and, you know, just do all the stuff that needs to be done. And so I say all that to say, you know, just, it's important to think about this stuff. It's important to think about your future, but it's also important to be mindful and realize, man, maybe I should close the Fidelity app and just do some breathing exercises while I'm sitting down right there. Maybe I should reflect on my past and my future. Maybe I could do some transcendental breathing instead. You know, just some food for thought. You know, you do what you want to do. You got your own circumstances. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But with that being said, there really is nothing else for me to say. So, hope you guys have a great one. All right? Stay mindful. Call your parents. Say thank you to the sun and to the moon and to the stars and to to Mother Earth. Keep your asshole clean.